Well, what is up guys, welcome to Sonic Gaming. If you want to help support the channel, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Today we're going to be checking out the best way to beat the green monster of the swamp and its second form, the Puppet-Devouring Green Monster. This is a challenging boss fight that forces the player to be quick on their feet and deal with a lot of pressure. While the first phase may be new, the second form of this boss feels like a cross between the Scrapped Watchman from the beginning of the game and the Consumed King Osiris from Dark Souls 3. So first things first, let's see what we're dealing with. The green monster of the swamp has a fairly straightforward moveset that isn't actually too difficult to deal with, despite how intimidating it looks. All of its attacks are aimed directly in front of it, albeit with a fair amount of range on some of them. The monster's standard swipes and slams are fairly easy to avoid at this point in the game, similar to many other enemies that we've come across so far. The problem is the eye-stalk tendril-like things that sprout from the top of its head. If the monster lowers its head and goes fairly still, it's about to lash out with them. Dodge out to the side to get out of the way, because this can either be a quick snap of damage or a vicious onslaught of fast attacks that can wipe you out if you don't have a really beefy health pool. If you're at range, to take a breather, be warned that the green monster of the swamp likes to do sudden rushes forward, which may or may not be a fury attack. At any range, the monster may start spewing decaying acid in a wide forward arc, from its left to right. If you're in front of the boss, sprint to the left of it and punish while it continues its attack and recovers. One thing that is likely to catch you at first is when the boss digs underground. You'll see the ground rumble as it chases you from below, and when it reaches you it will burst from the ground for huge damage. Blocking doesn't work, but dodging at the last moment does. Your strategy is to get behind the boss as much as possible, and that means using your shade as a meat shield. None of its attacks can outright hit you here, and you can feel free to pummel it for a very quick match if your damage is high enough. Either way, I strongly recommend a long range weapon. I use the Puppet Ripper from the Puppet King's Ergo, which has ridiculously long range and deals awesome damage with its heavy attack and fable attack. It's also important to bring fire to this fight. Your fire grindstone is an amazing addition that will absolutely melt this boss, so to speak, and feel free to bring a bunch of thermite to sweeten that up as well. You'll have this boss burn down in no time. As we enter the second phase, the boss possesses what looks to be the body of the Scrapped Watchman from the beginning of the game, and now we have to play more safely. The Puppet-Devouring Green Monster has all the same moveset as the previous phase, but now it has extras. The first thing to note is the massive wound up overhead slams that the Watchman had, but with way more damage. This is often done 3 times in a row, with the third being a fury attack. The boss also gains a ton more mobility and will use it. The rapid crawling around the arena will now be done multiple times in a row, again with the final one being a fury attack and difficult to deflect. Yet another fury attack this boss can perform is its large overhead pounces, which again often come in 3s. It can also use these jumps to navigate around the arena, making following it and positioning unreliable and chaotic, which definitely describes this fight well. At every available opportunity, we are getting behind the boss to wail on it with all we have. With such a chaotic fight, there's a lot of room for error, so we need it to be over as fast as possible to avoid that. If you have any ranged attacks, use them. The Falcon Eyes Legion tool is absolutely amazing for delivering consistent ranged damage, but does use up your Legion bar a bit, so bring some magazines. And of course, if you have it, throw in some good old thermite during this phase to help burn the boss down faster. Stock up on extra fire abrasives to keep your weapon buffed, and play aggressively anytime the Puppet-Devouring Green Monster isn't going nuts jumping around the place. That should be all that you need to know to beat the green monster of the swamp and the Puppet-Devouring Green Monster, but if you're still not confident, keep watching. I've got a clip of the full fight so that you can see how it's done. Thanks very much guys. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care, and as always, have fun.